Alright, so today's mission is to try to get a plant watering itself. I've got, I don't know, hosing, airline tubing for an aquarium. I've got this pump, 3-volt pump, trying to produce just a trickle of water. Here's the pump. Quite small, 2 wires, looks pretty simple. And then this is like a 10-pack of moisture sensors. Cool. Got a big prong forky thing. And finally, I've got a relay, which I'm going to use to turn things on and off and protect the Raspberry Pi I'll be using. So I'm going to run everything through an isolated relay, which I made a power supply out of a ruined iPhone cable. So I cut the end off an old iPhone cable and attached these red and black wires. I run it through this USB wall plug and I get a good 5-volt input. So I like that. Finally, I've got the Raspberry Pi. I'm going to use the GPIO pins on this board to basically turn the pump on when the water sensor gets too low. On top of that, I want to add a website so I can read the stats of my plants and maybe trigger some watering events. And really just because I can run a web server and automated water at plants. So I think this is going to be a pretty cool project. Learn how to do GPIO through a website on a Raspberry Pi. We're also using a relay, so that's pretty cool. Good for bigger, higher load projects. So let's get going. Hopefully nobody gets electrocuted here.
Yeah, that would be ideal.
Woo.
Oh, cool! Making that while you're making dinner.
Okay, so this sends a signal as to if it's wet or not. This is connected to a relay, and when it is not wet, it turns on a pump, which is going to start pumping water here. So if I dip this, it's going to start the program. That in there, we're getting readings that say wet, true. When I take this out, the water should start to pump into here. Until it decides wet is true. Dip this back in. No more water. I have a dry plant, and I've just watered this plant, and you can see this sensor has one orange light on. That means it is dry, because when it detects water, the second light turns on. So let's see if it's calibrated right now. Okay, so it hasn't detected it there. I'm going to adjust the potentiometer on here until this light comes on, and then we'll put it back into the dry plant and see if it turns off. There it is. Let's see when I take it back if it gets the correct status of this plant. And indeed, it's dry. Okay, so we have a website now to control this plant, which I'm going to demonstrate. The web server, once again, is Flask running on this Raspberry Pi. It has an option that says turn on watering, turn off watering, check soil status, water once, and check time last watered. So I'm going to start by checking soil status. It says water me please. Now I'm going to click water once. You can see this pump turns on, so I'm going to click that again. Woo! Now let's check the time last watered. So it says it was watered about 6 seconds ago, which seems accurate. And finally, the sensor is still in the dry plant. I'm going to turn on auto watering. And this pump should just start going. There it is. Okay, this is a real demo. I'm going to plug the moisture sensor in just one moment into this dry plant here. And you'll see this craftily run water line up over this bike pump sprinkle some water down as it notices that this plant is dry. So here it goes. Now I'm going to go turn on the auto watering. And you can see, oh, There we go. You can see the second light has come on intermittently. Okay, now you can see it's staying with the second light on, which means moisture is detected in the sensor and the auto watering has stopped. So after that demo, I hope I've shown that this project works. I hope you were able to grow from this experience. And I suggest you build it yourself. I'm gonna have some links in my blog, and I'll link the code, I'll link a wiring diagram, and I'll link the materials. So if you wanna build it yourself, hopefully I can make that pretty easy. Thanks for watching.